All right, guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor Channel. My name is Ryan, offering just a perspective on financial awareness, financial stewardship. How do you get started? I get this question all the time. How many accounts do you actually need? I think a lot of people probably have their checking and savings in place. If you don't, I may give you kind of a unique perspective on how to utilize or maximize the potential in each one of your accounts, because they're each going to provide you a little bit different benefit when you're looking to build wealth over time, all right? Now, each of these options will cost you nothing, all right? So if you're watching this and you're wondering, how do I get started? Everybody wants to ask, how much does this cost to get started? Self-directed investing, it's amazing to me how much of self-directed investing is free of charge. It's free, okay? I offer the information free. Trying to stay with a theme here, you know what I mean? When we're pushing out information, that of which they can take, and a lot of people will blow off the opportunity. They really will, because they think, or they're conditioned to think, that because they're not paying for something, they're not going to get any type of real benefit out of it. I can tell you that can be one of the biggest mistakes. If you end up blowing this off, you're probably blowing off one of the most important things to be aware of in the investing landscape that I've come across in my life. I came across it 7 years ago. It changed my life. We are flirting with a $500,000 net worth. I've never made more than the median income in the United States, single income family. So for you guys that can relate to this, or you guys can relate to it, and maybe you're making six figures, maybe you're making an above average income, maybe you're making below average income, okay? I can relate with both sides of the argument, but the common theme across the investing landscape is the awareness and your willingness to look into something that may be a little bit new, all right? So open your mind a little bit. I'm going to go over how many accounts that you can have. This is going to be relative to all people, all right? It's going to be one of those things to where you can be like, all right, Ryan, yep, I get it. I have those too, but maybe, wow, I didn't think about it in that manner, all right? I've come out with videos through the Chronicle of the channel that talk about the order by which you should be entering into these accounts. And the first two accounts are the obvious ones, the checking and the savings. And I will tell you that these are not just token accounts that you start for the fun of it. These have a strategic purpose behind them. The checking account, first and foremost, I use my checking account for the inflow and the outflow, all right? This is the account that is the fluid account. This is where the paycheck comes into. This is where the direct deposit comes into, and there's benefits to having those direct deposits linked to this checking account, because the majority of your other accounts should be free. We shouldn't be paying a bank anything to offer you a checking or a savings account. And this can be a very simple discussion that you have with your bank on what type of benefits they have, what is the best account, the highest yielding account that you can get if you sign up for direct deposit, all right? We don't want minimum balances. If there is one and you can maintain that minimum balance to get the free accounts, so be it. I'm okay with that, but make sure that you're not paying a monthly maintenance fee for both the checking and the savings. But the checking and the savings, the checking is kind of like the pawn in the game. It's the account that I use to go to battle. All right, it's the one that gets the injection of the money, the real money, the inflows into the budget, and then the outflow of the sunken costs. This is where the investment capital comes into. This is where we take and we do the bill pay. So when the injection comes in, the bills are paid right away through e-bill anymore. That's very, very simple to do. So this is the inflow, outflow, okay? Money doesn't stay in the checking account very often, and I don't carry a very big balance, if any, in the checking account. I don't care. It's not the purpose of that account. The purpose of that account is to be my front line to my income and the outflow of keeping my debt obligation in control. So it's the payments account. So I'm continually firing bullets from the checking account, and it's the one that's continually reloading, all right, on the back end. That's the checking account, all right? Equally as important is the savings account, but for completely different reasons. The savings account is your drop point for sleep easy money. And this is something that's going to be different in my philosophy when I talk about self-directed investing and how you utilize this savings account as your very bucket for sleep easy money, rainy day fund, unexpected expenditures that may come up. Just heard a statistic today that 1/3 of all middle income people would be financially devastated by a charge of only $400. That's amazing to me. All right. Furthermore, $1,500 per month from a median income salary per year, $1,500 is going toward wasteful things. Okay. And I've proposed this rhetorical question for you. What is the minimum amount that I can take from my paycheck to pay myself? If it's $25, start there, all right? Because it's so much more about the $25. It's about the mental conditioning to start paying yourself and building up that savings reserve. Now, once you get the savings reserve built up a little bit, don't get up to $1,000 and be tempted to go buy that latest and greatest big screen TV. That's not the idea. The idea is that you provide yourself the opportunity to exercise a little bit of financial discipline and that we build this up. These two items right here are how I use to calibrate your financial health and well-being. Your financial health and well-being, okay? We're not talking about budget, which is up here. Your budget is squared away. You start these two accounts. If you have $0 in savings, I don't think you're eligible to be starting to invest and make over in excess or seek that 8 to 10% rate of return in the stock market. It's not going to work for you. We get a 20% haircut in the stock market and you have zero rainy day funds built up, you're going to get scared out of the market and you're going to move to the side. It's just going to happen. This right here will allow you the ability to always have some liquid cash on the side so those unexpected expenditures don't come and they don't hurt you. All right, that's the point of the savings account. All right, so we're up to 2 accounts that are critical and serve completely different purposes in your total financial health. All right, now the next one in line, I had to think long and hard about this one, okay? If it doesn't apply to you, then you skip to number 4. But the employee-sponsored 401k, 403b, whatever it is, through your work is your very next account. Now, if you're out there and you haven't signed up for your 401k, it would be in your best interest to identify whether or not that 401k, for example, provides matching contributions, because the matching contribution piece is the very justification I want you to embrace when you're justifying starting your 401k program. Guys, month in and month out, that's free money that you're just given just to be. It's really one of those things that I can't dispute. And most people have this, all right? Most people will pay an exuberant fee, all right? It's about an average of $4.51 per $1,000 invested for a 401k. That is very expensive, all right? However, most people will stop right here, and this will be their retirement income in the future. So I cannot ignore it, nor will I jump over it for the importance of the individual Roth IRA account, okay? But for most people, this 401k piece is very, very important. However you seek exposure to the stock market, most of the companies offer a pretty diversified options. They're pretty complicated to get in there, but if you need to do some diligence on that to get that started, I highly encourage you to look into doing that if you are indeed eligible to start contributing to your 401k program, all right? Number 4 is the individual retirement account. This is my favorite. This is the bread and butter right here. For those of you who are eligible for an individual retirement account, I recommend the self-directed Roth IRA account. If you're married, you're eligible for 2. Contribution limits are $6,000 per account for 2019. That gives you $12,000 per year. Most people will not be able to do that when they start. If you can, wonderful, do it. I don't know what you're waiting for, because every year that comes and goes, you're foregoing that benefit to the government, all right? They're basically telling you, here's your window, here's your opportunity to tax protect some money, and we're gonna cap it at X amount, 2019, $6,000. But most people don't need to move on to this taxable account until they're able to max fund these IRAs. Now think about this for a second. My retirement employee sponsored allows me to contribute $19,000 per year, all right? The IRAs, I am married, so I've got another $12,000 right there. So we're talking some serious money, over $30,000 of potential money that can go toward these investments here per year without the need to go with a joint brokerage account or a taxable brokerage account, okay? So this really is, it's a luxury. It really is. And for you guys that are tuning into the Independent Investor channel, perhaps you have this, but you don't have, or you do have the individual retirement account, but you don't have the 401k. You guys are enjoying the very best account I believe is on the market today for individual investors. I will say furthermore that there are products that allow you to exercise this individual Roth IRA account from a self-directed perspective. Get some very, very low-cost ETFs or some stock holdings within that account that'll cost you close to zero. Direct connect to the stock market, dollar cost average, dividend reinvest that account. It is the single greatest path to wealth when it comes to the investing front. It's the very, very best conduit that you can have to accelerate your path to some level of wealth in the future. All right, very, very important. For you guys out there, number 5, I will say that the taxable accounts, you can own as many as you want. I currently have about 3 or 4 taxable accounts. I have a joint brokerage. You guys know I carry an account with First Trade, and I carry an account with M1 Finance. Both of those are taxable brokerage accounts. I am affiliated with this through the channel. Affiliate links are located in the description below. If you're interested in looking, both of those brokerage houses offer Roth IRAs. So if you wanted to use those as your IRA conduit, you could do that, okay? But the taxable account here with Robinhood, for example, make sure you're not circumventing these other accounts, especially items 3 and 4, for going right to a taxable. There's no reason to try to seek tax exposure to the stock market in a taxable brokerage account at the expense of a good IRA account. The ability to put money away, tax protect that going forward if you haven't had the ability to max fund these. Once these are maximum and you have no problem with maximizing those contributions year in and year out, that's the time that you want to step in and layer up to a taxable account. All right. Now the 529s, that can kind of come at any point during this process. You can start the 529s or the UGMA accounts for the kids. Start to invest for the kids early. But how many accounts do you need? I think the purpose of this video was not to give you a number of how many accounts that you need, but to identify the unique characteristics of each of these accounts and how they holistically contribute to your overall financial health. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the video. I would encourage you to hit the subscribe button if you like the material that's coming through on the Independent Investor channel. Leave your comments at the bottom if you think I've missed another account perhaps that can help the community grow financial awareness and stewardship. Hit the thumbs up button and share the video with anybody out there that you think can benefit from this information. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the message, and good luck in your investment future.